know why your retinol is not working. Hey there, I'm Dr. Ray. I'm a board certified dermatologist, and today I'm going to talk to you about why your home skincare routine, your entire anti-aging protocol is not working. And what does not working even mean, right? What I mean by that is that you are not getting the results that you want, the results that you expect from all the effort you're putting into your anti-aging regimen. So two things I want to start with first are the fact that you are not imagining it. Okay, yes, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, you are looking at the tutorials, you're reading the product reviews, you are buying the right products, you're using them diligently, consistently, you are putting in the time, but you're not seeing the fruits of your labors. The other thing I want to say is that it's not the products, okay? The products are good. Most likely they're good. You've done your due diligence. So what is it? There are three main reasons why you're not getting the results for your skin that you want out of your home anti-aging regimen. Are you ready? Let's start. So reason number one is that you're not optimizing the products for your skin, for your particular skin. And so what does that mean? That can mean a few things. First, it can mean that the products that you're using, you're not getting the most out of them because you are using a dose or a strength or a form of the product that is not as effective when your skin actually could handle more if you were pairing it with the right other ingredients, the right other actives, and tailoring it to your skin type. I'll give you an example of this. Vitamin C. Vitamin C comes in different forms, okay? The most common form that you're gonna see is L-ascorbic acid. That is also the type that has been the most well studied. It comes in different dosages. It comes in a 5, 10, 15, 20%, for example. And it also comes in other forms. Vitamin C also comes in the form of THD, which is tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. And that is a less potent form of vitamin C, a little bit less studied. And then the least potent form is the vitamin C esters. So what I see a lot of times is women who are using vitamin C in their regimen, but they're not optimizing the dose or the type for their skin. For example, their skin really can handle a 10% vitamin C L-ascorbic acid, but they're using a vitamin C ester, for example. Or they are over-exfoliating their skin with other products like a mixture of acids, glycolic, lactic, mandelic, all the things, and retinol. And then in that situation, they're only able to tolerate a vitamin C ester and they can't tolerate anything else because they're kind of overdoing it in the other parts of their regimen. Okay, when really, if they want to do the best for their skin, they will optimize the vitamin C dosing, they'll optimize their retinoid, and then secondarily, if they can work in exfoliants like glycolic, lactic, mandelic, etc., they'll work those in. Why? Because retinol and vitamin C have been the most well studied. They are very effective for what they are meant to do. We know that based on research and evidence, okay? But everyone online is talking about exfoliating, and so that's why we love to exfoliate these days, but really our skin just may not need it. Or if it does, it doesn't need so much exfoliating, okay? So that's the first case, is you're not optimizing the strengths, the doses of the products in the way that you could be, and you're not getting the most out of them, and that is not your fault. I don't expect you to have a PhD in skincare products, right? This is all a bit nuanced, and that's why it's helpful to get help from an expert like a board certified dermatologist when you are seeking to make your optimal home skincare routine, okay? The second way that this can show up in terms of not optimizing your products for your skin is that potentially maybe you don't know your skin type, or maybe you do, but just you're not sure which types of products you should be using on your skin. And even as far as cleansers and moisturizers, you're not quite using the right type for your skin. And so it's not really laying the best foundation for the other products that you're putting on, the other actives, the active ingredients like the retinoids, the antioxidants like the vitamin C, the peptide serums, etc. Okay, so if you're using a cleanser or a moisturizer that's not quite right for your skin, then you are potentially over irritating, over drying your skin, causing chronic inflammation, and then you're not going to get the most out of your anti-aging ingredients. Or you're not effectively getting the makeup and sunscreen, etc., off of your skin, and so those other products aren't going to penetrate very well. Okay, so these are the possibilities in terms of how we can really tweak things to make your anti-aging products as effective as possible. Okay, the second reason that you may not be seeing the results that you want from your anti-aging routine, your protocol, is that your lifestyle, your habits may be working against you. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Perhaps you are using all the right products, you're using them in the right way. Maybe you're even getting professional treatments, like you're getting laser treatments, microneedling, peels, things like that, even some Botox here and there, but you're still not feeling like you love your skin, like you radiate, right? You're not getting that like lit from within glow that it looks like everybody online has, right? So if that's the case, I do want you to take a look at things like your nutrition and your sleep, maybe your gut health, and I'll talk to you about what that means, your stress levels, okay? So all of these things we know based on studies, they can affect our skin, how quickly our skin ages, what kinds of signs are showing up on our skin, whether it's dullness or texture changes or breakouts, wrinkles, fine lines, sagging, dark spots, all the things. Those are affected by our lifestyle because our internal environment for our skin is so important. It does affect how we look externally. Healthy skin is a reflection of a healthy internal environment. And when we don't have a healthy internal environment, it is really hard to make the skin look healthy, and healthy skin looks good, right? So if you are someone who chronically gets less than 7 hours of sleep, that is one place I would start. Sleep is really the foundation of health, and it is the foundation of great skin as well. This has again been studied. There was a study where they looked at women who they put under sleep stress. Women had subpar sleep, 5 hours for 3 nights in a row. And after just 3 nights, they saw that the quality of the skin and signs of aging like texture changes, fine lines actually increased just after 3 nights. So if you're someone who chronically gets low levels of sleep or just poor quality sleep, maybe you like to drink wine at night, for example, which I totally get that. A little relaxing with wine at night is totally fine and great. However, it is potentially going to interfere with your sleep quality. Even if you don't realize it, alcohol does interfere with sleep quality, even a little bit before bedtime. Or caffeine, if you are someone who likes a midday coffee, a little pick-me-up in the afternoon or after lunch or something. Did you know that caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours? That means that after 6 hours, half of the caffeine that you consumed is still in your system. And that means that after 12 hours, a quarter of the caffeine that you consumed is still in your system. So if you have a cup of coffee at 12 p.m., at midnight that night, a quarter of that is still in your system. It's like taking a quarter shot of Starbucks right before bed, okay, at midnight. So that is going to affect your sleep. So these are things that I want you to start looking at right now if you are not getting the results you want, starting with sleep, okay? The other thing we mentioned was nutrition and gut health. Those really go hand in hand, okay, because your gut health is highly tied in, as you might imagine, to what you put inside your gut, which is your nutrition. So maybe you are a busy woman, maybe you don't have time to really prep food at home very often, you don't like to cook maybe, which I totally get. As a result of that, you tend to eat out a lot, or you kind of grab quick snacks, and maybe you're not getting as much as of the healthy fruits, fresh veggies, fresh fruits as you would like to, just because of your schedule and, your life. If that's the case, that's another place where we can start to make little baby steps in terms of like trying to have a healthy snack that we can go to rather than something that's a little bit more processed. And that's actually going to feed our gut with some healthy fiber and nutrients. And in turn, that is going to influence our skin. Again, this has been studied. When we have an unhealthy gut, experience leaky gut, which is kind of a buzzword these days, but it actually is a thing. As a doctor, I can tell you that it is a thing. We don't necessarily call it leaky gut in the medical world, but what can happen is that you have release of these microscopic elements from your gut into your bloodstream that can then downstream lead to chronic inflammation in your body. And what chronic inflammation does is it raises your cortisol levels, and cortisol, we know for a fact, breaks down collagen. And collagen is the scaffold of your skin. What gives your skin its youthful, supple look, okay? It's what we're all trying to desperately hold on to as we age, right? That's another area I want you to look at. And if you tend to smoke, even if it's just occasional social smoking, that is one of the most efficient ways to break down your collagen is by smoking or even vaping too. Vaping has chemicals that can break down collagen downstream. And stress, chronic stress is another one. This day and age, that is very common. And I honestly don't know anyone who isn't at least a little bit stressed on some level. And sometimes they might not know that they are, and it's just kind of a background uneasiness or kind of sense of kind of being wound up or just not able to relax. And if that's the case, then you might have some level of chronic low level stress going on. And again, we know that stress does increase our cortisol levels, and we do know that cortisol, again, interferes with our collagen production. It breaks down collagen. It interferes actually with our wound healing, our skin barrier, all the things. And so we really want to keep those at bay. Okay. All of that to say that you could be doing all the other things right, even if you're layering all your products right, you're using the right products for your skin, you're doing the professional treatments, but you cannot outsmart your body. You can't outsmart your skin, and it will reflect in your skin's texture, its quality, the fine lines that are showing up, the dark spots, the dark under eye circles or bags. All of those things can be accentuated when you are not giving your skin an ideal environment. Now, does that mean you need to overhaul your life and do everything perfectly? Absolutely not. I don't expect that from anybody. I don't do that myself. It is just impossible to have that expectation. However, knowledge is power, right? And when you know the things that can potentially affect your complexion, there are little micro moments of time throughout the day where you can make maybe a different decision than you normally would, if you're motivated by keeping your skin healthy and beautiful and youthful, right? So for example, if you tend to love Diet Coke, you drink 3 of them a day, maybe one of those, just start with one, once a day, you replace it with like a fizzy water with squeeze of lemon or squeeze of orange juice or something in it that kind of tastes a little bit nice. It gives you that little bit of fizz, but it's not loaded with chemicals and things like that the Coke has, or even regular Coke, of course, has a lot of sugar. I didn't even touch on sugar, but we do know that sugar is also detrimental to our skin health and breaks down collagen as well. So again, little micro moments of changes or habit tweaks that we can make throughout the day. I have a ton of them that I could talk about. Too many to talk about in this video. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But if you're interested, let me know. But yeah, there are small habit shifts that we can make that over time really will reflect in our skin. And then the last reason that you might not be seeing the results that you want, that you expect for your skin from your anti-aging routine, is that you might be expecting your products, even if you're using them all the right way, the right products for your skin, you might have expectations of them that they just can't meet, okay? And this is 0% your fault because all of the product advertisements, all the social media, influencers online with their routines, their glass skin, their miracle products, their go-to serum for getting glass skin, whatever it is, even the experts online recommending certain products. One of the main issues with so much information on skincare in the online world these days is that it's easy to be very generalized in your recommendations, in your declarations about what a certain product does. And there's a lot of nuance here, okay? So for example, I see some experts online saying, okay, use ketoconazole shampoo. And this is not even related to skincare, it's related to hair loss, which is, again, I think also very common. Use ketoconazole shampoo or Nizoral shampoo and your hair will grow. Well, it's not that simple. And if it were, then everybody would do it, right? And every dermatologist in the world would just recommend Nizoral for hair growth. But there's just so much more nuance than that. And the same goes with skin. Telling someone to use this peptide serum, it is amazing for, firming and lifting the skin. It's not that simple. And in my mind, a stellar home routine is really ideal. It really shines when we're looking at prevention, at slowing things down, okay? But when we're talking about reversing certain things in our skin, like wrinkles, especially deeper wrinkles, crow's feet, or sagging or deep folds, things like that, or even under eye bags and dark circles, we really have to set expectations low and not expect them to do more than they're actually able to do. And what we actually need when we're trying to look at reversal of these things once they show up, and especially if they've been there a while and are kind of advanced, is we need to look at professional treatments that go beyond what home skincare does, okay? Again, this is completely not your fault at all. I see these products on my feed all the time. They are advertising results that really just are not achievable with a cream. And when I take a closer look, I can see that the before and afters are in completely different lighting or in a different position or in a different facial expression is being made, or they're just completely fabricated. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen stock photos that I have seen actually on these stock photo websites being used for different products as their before and afters with a verified purchase underneath it, 5 stars, with a name of the person and a complete, 5-star review. So unfortunately, that is the state of the internet these days and of internet advertising. And we just have to look at everything with a little bit of a skeptical eye, which I know you are. But here I am just reiterating for you that when we're talking about home skincare, look at it as your prevention. And if you are looking to improve the texture of your skin, to get a little bit of glowiness, a little bit of radiance, a little bit more smoothness, yes, we can definitely achieve that with a really optimal home routine. If we're trying to reverse signs like wrinkles, especially deeper ones, not just fine lines, any sagging, any deep folds, under eye bags, or even dark circles, a lot of the different types of dark circles, because there are different types, then we really need to start looking at professional in-office treatments to help us do that. Okay. So those are the 3 main reasons. Again, let me recap why you might not be seeing the results that you are expecting, that you want, even after months to years of use of a really good home regimen. First one is that you're not optimizing those products for your skin. Again, not your fault. That is why we have dermatologists here to help guide you in how to optimize your routine for your skin, okay? Second is that your lifestyle, your habits may be working against you in certain ways. Maybe it's not all the things. It's not the sleep and the nutrition and the stress. Maybe it's just one thing. Maybe you actually eat very well. You eat a lot of fresh fruits and veggies and whole foods, and you actually don't have much stress in your life, but you're just not a good sleeper for whatever reason. You thrive on 6 hours of sleep. That's how you feel the best, but it will reflect in your skin. And then the last reason is that you may have expectations of your products that are a bit too high. And again, that is very likely from what you're seeing online every single day and even from experts, okay? So if that was helpful, let me know, drop a comment, subscribe please if you're not subscribed and you're watching this. Subscribe to my channel, and I would love to give you more content like this if you liked it, if you found it helpful. If you want anything else, any other follow-up videos about this stuff, let me know and I'm happy to talk about it. I could talk about this stuff all day. And if you're not following me on Instagram yet, go ahead and head over to Instagram. I will put the link in the description of this video. I would love to connect with you there. DM me there. I'd love to hear from you. If you watch this video, let me know what you thought. Okay, cool. Have a great day.